I want to talk about how to solve problems in kinematics, and I'm going to use an example of a projectile motion problem to kind of go through the ideal steps to solve problems like this. So these steps won't necessarily be the right steps for every single problem, but this is a good starting point if you're having trouble answering a question. So in this particular problem, a golfer is hitting a golf ball with a certain initial velocity, and we're trying to determine the position in the x direction and in the y direction as functions of time. So the first thing you want to do is draw a diagram. In this case, we can just expand upon the picture that was already shown. We can draw the path of the golf ball, we can draw the axes, which direction are positive, and we can draw the initial velocity vector with its direction. So we also want to choose a coordinate system, and that's included in the diagram as well. Next, you should write down all the known quantities and also write down what you need to calculate. So in this case, the known values are the initial positions. Because we chose the coordinate system, we know the initial position is 0. So x0 and y0 are both equal to 0. We know the magnitude of the velocity, that's 100 meters per second. We also know the x component and the y component of the acceleration. Ax is 0, ay is negative 9.8 meters per second squared. And we actually also know the angle that the initial velocity is at, that's 30 degrees. And what we're trying to calculate is x as a function of time and y as a function of time. And in this case, the unknowns that we need to calculate to do that are the initial velocities along the x and y direction. That's v0 x and v0 y. Next, you should choose equations that will help you solve those unknown variables. And in this case, we would need to use the trigonometry that would give us the values for v0 x and v0 y. So we can even just solve for that right now. v0 x works out to about 86.7 meters per second, and v0 y is 50 meters per second. And then finally, finish solving the problem. In this case, all we have to do is plug in all of our values, including the ones we calculated, and x as a function of time simplifies down to just 86.7 times t, and y as a function of time simplifies to 50 times t minus 4.9 t squared. And again, these steps won't necessarily be perfect for every type of problem in kinematics, but this process of drawing a diagram, writing down all of your known values and unknown values, and then using those to choose equations is a process that will help you go through any difficult problem in a step-by-step way, and it'll help you if you feel stuck on something.